We're starting this one off mid-conversation. Big Dick Will Menaker's back.
Yeah. Big, thick dick.
Yeah, wide dick. That's
thick
the alliteration.
Dick Billy. It's the girth
thick
that,
dick Bill.
that counts.
Well, should you go rhyming or alliteration? Should it be Wide Dick Will or...
It's Billy.
It's Billy?
Yeah, big, thick dick Bill.
All right,
Billy.
well,
Why Dick Billy, dude?
We got into a conversation. I was telling Will we were watching one of the holodeck episodes of Star Trek Next Generation last night.
With my sexy ass that Greek woman with the nice juicy
She's in
tits.
every episode.
Martina Sirtris?
Yeah.
Counselor Troy, you mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
He was not familiar with Counselor Troy.
No, dude. I missed a lot of that.
She is, she's the empath, so she gets to dress sexy and just be like a therapist for everyone.
And that's what I love is her character was created to explain empathy to the fucking autistic morons that watch Star Trek. They're like, what do you mean caring about other people? They're like, well, she's an alien. They're like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
She has an alien ability to discern people's moods and emotions based on...
Right. They had to create an otherworld character to explain
and
that.
she had to have juicy ass titties for them to pay attention to.
Well, that's what she used to feel their emotions.
Every Star Trek iteration has like the sexy woman.
Sure.
And they fucked up. I think we mentioned this on the show before, but when they did Voyager, they were like, we're not going to do that this time. We have a female captain. Torres is like kind of hot, but in like a spicy Latino way.
Yeah.
She's she's like the fucking hoop earring Klingon.
She's half Klingon on Voyager.
She's half Klingon.
Full Klingon, that'd be like, that's too much.
Well, that's how her name is.
I always thought she was more like, Torres.
She's half Puerto Rican, half Klingon, which, Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
You know what? Honestly, I think that might be real. I think there's women like that in the Bronx that are legitimately half Klingon.
That
half
has
Puerto
fucked
Rican.
up foreheads.
Yeah.
They do honor killings.
I got a piece of warp drive. I don't have time for these.
No, but then the ratings are down, so then they just invented out of whole cloth the sexy robot, the Borg, the sexy Borg, 7
Jerry
and 9.
Ryan? Yeah.
We've talked about her too. She's so hot.
Which then,
she's insanely hot.
because she did so well for Voyager, they added her onto other shows on UPN. They had
Jerry
a guest
Ryan?
starring episode with Jerry Ryan on Sentinel.
She was on Boston Public, too.
She was on Boston Public, but that was Fox.
She was on the Wayans Brothers show.
Yeah, they would add Jerry Ryan to other shows.
Slight digression, the actress Jerry Ryan...
was married to the congressman.
She was married to a Republican congressman from Illinois, I think.
Who took her to sex clubs.
Yes. They got divorced because he took her to like some sort of sex club in Paris and like made her do things she was uncomfortable with.
Damn, that sucks, Jerry. Jerry, if you're listening, I know you are, I'd never treat you that way.
Well,
she's probably so fine right now.
I love, too, that the way they stereotype the sexless Asian Ensign Kim into being, like, just falling over his dick for the robot character in that show.
But didn't you troll him on Twitter once?
I did. Yeah, I got into a big argument with Garrett Wang, the guy that plays Ensign Kim.
What?
Because I was explaining to him, I was like, well, I asked him, I was like, is Space China different than regular China? And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, in the Star Trek universe, the Space China that Ensign Kim comes from. And he like added me, and he's like, Ensign Kim is Korean. And I was like, he most certainly is not. I know for a fact that Ensign Kim is not a Korean character. Kim is a Korean name, but that's because the writers didn't give a shit and they just named the Chinese guy Kim. And he was like, Kim is a Korean surname. And I was like, again, the character's not. And then I went through YouTube and I actually found a video of Garrett Wang at a Star Trek convention panel explaining that Ensign Kim is Chinese and that the writers gave him the wrong name. And I was like, yeah, well, here's you fucking saying it.
That is such a good dunk.
He was like, what's your problem, man?
No, but honestly, he's right. What is your problem?
Who does all that research to troll Ensign Kim or whatever his name is?
I just happen to know that about
Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang.
Fucking research.
Which, by the way, Garrett Wang, hilarious name.
Yeah. No, I used to ask him about Gates McFadden and if she was like okay because her Twitter is pretty fucking crazy. She's a doll of herself as like Dr. Crusher. That she plays with.
Crusher could get it too.
She's fire.
Bizarre. Yeah, she was.
The original hook for this was how Star Trek, the writers of basically every one of the Star Trek series, like wrung so much out of the holodeck conceit, and then like at least every season there would be one all holodeck episode that were always miserable.
Yeah.
Just terrible in
Well,
every way.
They got this because they got lazy about writing space shit, so they were like, fuck it, let's just write Maltese Falcon. And the exit button got broken. So it's gonna, and you know what? It's lazy writing because all of the characters are these like god characters, where it doesn't matter how the story progresses because they always know they can leave the holodeck.
Right.
So they present like the conceit of this one was that there's some, like a jade monkey or whatever that this mob boss needs, and Picard is like the private eye that has access to it. But they never have to address any part of that story because Picard's like, they think I have something they need. Isn't that funny?
Well, there was ones where
they're laughing when the guy gets shot.
Oh yeah, which by the way, they go, we've brought along our fiction officer, and it's like, so that guy's just gonna be dead at the end of the episode. Yeah. You're never gonna see him again.
Well, there was one where Data kept doing holodeck scenarios where he would play as like Sherlock Holmes or something. And again, this is sort of like a shout out to the show's fan base of like, using games to teach you about literature and real human life. But like it was like some conceit. The conceit of that episode is that like, again, they get stuck in the holodeck and they go through some sort of cosmic radiation, and it makes the Moriarty character self-aware and deadly, and like can actually kill you in the holodeck.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And again, just like don't have a holodeck.
Yeah. No, the only time it was actually useful, I think, was like on Voyager with the Tuvok Pon farr episode, where the Vulcans, they have to fuck. They can only fuck every 7 years, but they have to fuck or they die.
Or they just go, they just go insane.
Go
like,
crazy.
they just go fucking crazy. Like
That's
and
me.
yeah, so
is
like,
that like 7-year nut just builds up into their brain? And
Their balls must be so heavy on like year 6.
Wait, Tuvok was the black Vulcan?
So Vulcans are no fap. Save it till marriage.
Gorilla mindset.
They're autists for
They're
sure.
gorilla mindset guys, but then they have
Very
this built-in,
logical
breaking point of 7 years because you can't be no fap that long. So, but in Voyager, the idea behind the show is that they get trapped in the Delta Quadrant, so they're so far away from anyone they've ever seen before, and so they hit the 7-year mark, and there's no one for Tuvok to fuck, so they have to just let him fuck in the holodeck. And I always like, because it's a room that it's a hologram, right? And then they have enough ability to manipulate the physics of the hologram so that you can touch the hologram,
texture and
stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
But anything that's
Hell
produced in the hologram isn't made out of whatever substrate material that the hologram creates. So if you're all I'm saying is there's got to be just buckets of cum on the floor of the hologram.
Yeah.
The floors are caked over.
Like there's some like Starfleet ensign, like the Will Wheaton character, like part of his duty would be actually just like mopping down the holodeck. Like fucking Travis Bickle's cab.
Right. Well, Will Wheaton's such a perfect good boy on the show that he actually lives solely off cum. He's a 100% clean celestial being.
He's a goody good boy.
In touch with the universe.
Now,
I like the idea that there's some kind of video feed without the hologram, so you just see the guy fucking in space, like in air, and you just see like his dick fucking pumping, and there's no pussy around it.
Yeah.
You just see I want to see that shit, dude. I want to see the feed, the uncut feed without the holograms.
Yeah.
Just wearing a Sherlock Holmes outfit.
He's still in costume with his dick out.
Yeah. No, and I love too that the dumb shit that they're obsessed with in the holodeck is always things that baby boomers like.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the idea that in the year 2630 that Tom Paris on Voyager, he's always working on a Camaro. Like a 1970 Camaro. And the fucking
That's sort of like the equivalent of nowadays, like hobbyists build their own trebuchet.
Yeah,
or
right,
even
exactly.
a manuscript from
Yeah.
the fucking 15th century.
Right, no, but not only like being interested in it as a part of history, but because he's like this thing, man, it's got fucking 240 horsepower at the wheels. And it's like
You're
on
literally
a
traveling
space-
faster than light to a different galaxy.
Yeah,
You're getting moon pussy left and right, my man. You care about fucking horsepower. Yeah.
Well, the one iteration of Star Trek that I thought sort of did the most, or at least acknowledged that the holodecks would mainly be used for pornography and just jacking off is Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine is the only good Star
That's
Trek.
my favorite series. But like Quark's bar, he's always like renting out the holodeck, but it's clear that he's just like a sleazy fleshmonger or whatever.
Oh, the Ferengis are Jewish.
Yeah.
It took them a while to just be like, let's just do a Jewish character. And then they went all out. Like, the nose would be too obvious. So give
we're
them
gonna have
giant ears.
big
I don't know about that.
Oh fuck.
Anything can be had for a price. Gold press latinum.
They're so ghoulish.
Oh yeah, they were into coins and
They
stuff.
loved gold coins.
Yeah.
Seriously, no, they really they were obsessed with gold coins. Yeah.
They play. You do a spinning top game to win the gold coins.
The sexy girl on DS9 was like Dax was like pretty moderate. And she was probably the hottest of all the Star Trek women.
Dax?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and the
remember
captain
Dax.
was Obama.
Yeah, the captain was Obama, and who was old friends with Dax, so they had this weird homosexual relationship.
Well, the conceit with Dax is that she is like a hybrid of like
symbiont.
like she like looks like basically like a human woman with some like freckles on the side, but her body is host to this like alien worm that contains the memories of all of its past hosts.
Yeah.
So she's like an amalgam of like 10 or 12 different people's life
And
experiences.
Cisco was boys with whoever that worm infected life.
Oh shit.
So basically Dax is a woman that got herpes from Cisco's friend from college. And he's like, "Good to see you, old man."
He calls her
Kiss
old
those
man all the
sores,
time.
Old
Yeah.
man is
Does
her
that
nickname.
mean she knows how to fuck so good? She knows how to fuck
'cause
like
she's-
10
she's
people.
Yeah,
old
exactly.
dick,
She's
so
had,
she
like-
knows how to suck one.
Guys know what guys like.
That's why it's called Deep
Nine.
Space Nine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dick suck
Back
nine.
walls 9.
We said
All the
back
way
walls
in.
9. Oh fuck. We definitely said Dick Suck 9 the first time we talked about
Yeah, yeah,
DS9.
Well, it's a good show. I was like, I didn't know that Odo. I found out recently because I don't remember seeing it on the show that he just sleeps in a bucket.
Yeah.
He just turns back into like a bucket of cum.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah,
Which
dude.
is so disgusting.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's watching some fucking show that's like horny Harry Potter right now. Some show called The Magicians.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I've been like in it because I don't give a shit about any of that. But it's like, it's fucking. They're like, it's some fucking kid with his stupid emo haircut. And then he finds out he's a wizard for real,
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
they just stole.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but he's like 19 or whatever. He's got an emo haircut and a messenger bag and like a fucking colorful tie. Like a.
He rides a longboard to work.
Yeah. And I guess I caught an episode she was watching the other day, and she's like, "Well, now they're in the magical world from the books." And it's like, okay, I guess it's very similar to Harry Potter. They're all the same thing. But then they visit this like goat character, this homosexual goat character,
Like a pan figure.
a pan figure that's supposed to be a god that created this magic world. And I'm like half paying attention, and he hands a cup of his cum to the magicians. I'm like, is that just his cum? She's like, yeah. She's like, it like makes sense in the story.
What?
Like,
Do they all
like,
just have
"You
to
have
take a sip or something?
they give it to the fucking girl who's supposed to be the hero, and she has to drink his cum.
What?
Yeah.
It's literally his cum.
It's
he beats off
dude,
into
they
a cup.
fucking had the props department create a jar of cum.
It looks like cum?
Yes, it looks like cum, and she has to drink the jar of cum.
But it's magic, so it tastes like frosting.
Yeah. And it's like supposed
That's
to be
what my
like Buffy
cum
the
tastes like.
Vampire Slayer, but there's a cum drinking element, which I guess you were supposed to assume that British scientist that was helping Buffy was doing anyway.
Yeah. He was sneaking his cum in,
Oh, yeah.
like that dentist. That one
Definitely.
dentist.
Sorry I didn't answer the phone. I was busy reading about a demon from 500 years ago. Were you a
Apply
Buffy
this
fan?
to your skin.
No, actually, I never got into Buffy.
I really don't give a shit about Joss Whedon at all.
yeah, me neither.
I never watched it.
But I wasn't really into Buffy, but that guy Angel, the woman he fucked,
David
Charisma Carpenter.
Boreanaz?
David Boreanaz is Angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but his
I call
girlfriend.
him David Boring Anus.
Hey.
My man got a born ass. Look at it. Ain't got no wrinkles. Looks like a little Cheerio.
That's kind of a cute ass.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound boring at all, honestly. You could have some fun with that ass. No, Charisma Carpenter, who played someone in that shit. Oh boy, did I beat off to her. Big motherfucking
In
time.
angle?
She was unbelievable.
Well, Allison Hennigan became hot from American Pie because for some reason everyone interpreted that in
the
real
flute
life
girl?
she put a flute in her pussy.
Yeah.
Which does not make you hot. I don't
No, it makes you weird. It makes you weird as shit.
I don't know. I think that's
Nor-
pretty cool.
Would I imagine that that's very pleasurable?
No,
even if
it's
you're a
all
woman?
knobby
Like,
and
it's
shit.
just like it's all fucking like
There's
it's this
buttons.
cold piece of metal that's like thin and covered
Yeah,
in
go to
buttons.
Spencer's, get a dildo. They're all over the place.
Maybe you stuck a flute in your asshole. Maybe that would like
Yeah.
be a little bit tight. You know,
How did it feel?
Well, I just
Adam?
love that Jason
When you
Bates'
put it-
character in that movie is like, wait, you have a pussy?
Yeah.
That movie sucked.
That movie does. Also,
Very
just-
bad.
What's the? Because he tries to fuck the hot girl, but he comes too quick.
Yeah.
Or he can't
Yeah.
get hard. What is it?
He
just busts
Ann and
like
Elizabeth?
immediately.
he comes in his
That's
pants.
a win, as far as I'm concerned.
That's sex.
He fucked her.
He comes
Yes.
in his pants on Skype in front of his whole school. Which,
First of all-
that technology did not exist back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
It barely works now. And they're like, yeah, he's video conferencing with the entire school.
Also, why would you ever do that? You're about to fuck for the first
Yeah.
time.
Well, that's like a Return of Kings thing. They say you should videotape all your sexual encounters.
What?
In case a woman accuses you of rape.
Oh, so like in case a woman, just to prevent a woman from falsely accusing you of rape,
should-
just videotape her without your consent.
Well, I just love the
computer
idea
rape her.
of sexless men with fucking 19 security cameras all pointing at their bed in their mom's apartment. You know, they're like, the mom's like, Richard, why is the electricity bill so high this month? It's like, Mom, leave my cameras alone.
I remember one
This is to
time.
protect the both of us.
I only fuck in a panic room.
Yeah. Well, I make the woman sign a charter written in cursive and sealed with blood, wax at the end.
I remember one time I was looking for weed in my college. It was like one of those terrible college houses that just 8 people lived in. It was just you
Yeah.
go in and out or whatever. I just barged into my friend's room and I just found. I was looking for weed on his desk and shit, and he had like one of those books, like a hollow book. And there was a fucking video camera pointing to his fucking bed. It was like, this guy definitely. It was like one of those when they record a babysitter without their knowledge. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
guy
nanny
was,
cam.
Yeah, this guy was
I would
definitely
never want to watch myself fuck.
God no.
Oh, it's terrible.
God no.
I would love to. I would love to see what I got in the mix. You know?
You have nothing,
Dude, I got nice
You would
moves.
videotape it, and you would never get hard again.
Dude,
As
first of
soon
all,
as you saw the lack of movement, just your fucking fat ass.
I fuck with
dimpling
heart.
and undimpling.
I have a beautiful ass, number one, especially for a fat man. But I think I would surprise you with the tenacity with which I fuck, the heart. You know, I'm a scrapper. I know I'm not fucking.
You've got coachability.
I've got coach. I definitely have coachability. I'll do whatever
No,
needs to
this
get
is-
It
done.
would look like your thighs were trying to give your stomach the Heimlich maneuver.
Dude, my
That's
thighs
what it
are
would look
more.
like from
Look at
behind.
this shit, dude. Look at this muscles, dude.
I don't know if that's muscle.
You'd play back the
You
video,
can't feel
and
this.
then it would be like computer
Feel this.
enhance,
Yeah.
and then like you'd see the woman checking her phone or something.
Adam, yeah.
No, it'd be like
she's
this.
just rolling her
Computer
eyes.
enhance. Oh, unenhance. De-enhance the image. Computer delete all
but,
files
You can see her
immediately.
texting her friends.
Adam, like I think it's the same to what Adam. I've talked to you about one of our favorite Instagram guys. What is it? The Nick 420
Oh,
California.
yeah.
The
Oh,
guy
that
who like
guy's
Nick
awesome.
Weed. Yeah.
Nick Weed, yeah, the guy who just like literally does an Instagram video of him like smoking weed every fucking day.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just like I would like it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
if you showed me video like of every time I did drugs,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
like kill myself or go
Oh,
straight
yeah.
to rehab.
Absolutely, dude. I remember me and my friend started skateboarding when we were like fucking like 11 or 12, and then my friend got like a video camera and was like, "Yo, we go. Oh,
Let's do
fucking
Jackass.
Let's do a skate
Let's
video.
let's shoot ourselves skateboarding," and it's like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
So just fucking like how the lack of coordination,
Ollies, yeah.
the fact that you can like ollie down 3 stairs,
Yeah. I can
It
ollie
looks
onto a
badass.
curb, like-
right? Yeah, dude, not you just falling downstairs with a piece of wood underneath you.
I that's exactly what happened to me. I was playing basketball and like I was like part of the Greek Orthodox Youth of America basketball league.
Do you play on carpet court?
Yeah, it literally in my gym at the fucking church. It was like bullshit carpet. But I was at this fucking tournament and I stuffed some kid and I was like, oh my God, and my mom just happened to be there with a fucking video camera. I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. I just imagined myself like fucking getting 4 feet off the ground and just like spiking it in this fucking kid's face. And it was like I was a centimeter off the ground. The kid was like 5'3". You know, there was like nothing impressive about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys are onto something. If I watched myself fuck, it would probably be.
It would be so
It's
sexual
terrible.
equivalent
Yeah,
of
I
that.
mean, I do a bit about watching myself eat pussy. It's the absolute worst thing in the entire world.
I'd like to watch myself eat pussy.
No,
like
it's
I'm watching
not fun.
games.
How did you accomplish that?
Because, well, I was filming her going down on me, and then I started going down on her, and I didn't have like the dexterity to film and eat pussy.
You didn't have.
Why didn't you give her the camera?
So she took the camera, and then I just watched myself just like so emotionally eating a pussy. Just like there was so much earnestness and like love in the way that I was eating her pussy, and it was just like to see myself that vulnerable.
From
really
that
was-
perspective, it probably looked like you were nuzzling your face into Dan Hidea's back. Or something.
When I look like a fucking like a bored secretary pinching a phone in between their cheek and their shoulder. No, sir, we're out of stock. No,
But,
they won't be in stock. I don't know when they're going to be back in stock, sir.
But that's because you don't enjoy fucking, dude.
Yeah, I don't enjoy anything though.
Exactly. That's what I mean. You have no joy in your
That's
life.
true.
That's why. I think I would. That's
the
part
medical term for that is being really fucking cool. Being too cool for
It's
school.
true. Yeah.
But Stop, back to your friend who was surreptitiously, assume, videotaping himself having sex with women, which is a crime.
Totally. No, I don't like that guy at all. I was trying to steal his weed. For the record, he
but
was
like
barely a friend.
the sort of obsession with guys filming themselves.
Is that a crime?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
To record
Because-
someone
well,
without
it's-
their permission.
Well, you can do it in public. Because it's like an expectation of privacy. Like if you go outside and just start taping somebody on the street, that's illegal.
I think
Yeah.
basically filming you having sex with a woman without her consent is basically assault. I mean,
yeah.
Also, there's
Well,
no.
I'm saying I believe it's fucked up to do
Yeah.
that. I don't know if it's illegal or not.
I think
I'm
it's
pretty
illegal,
sure it
for
is.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the obsession with like guys who are obsessed with like recording themselves having sex, and I'm wondering if you guys have seen one of my favorite films of all time, Autofocus.
Oh, yeah, for
the
sure.
Bob Crane story.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Dude,
No.
it's okay. It's directed by Paul Schrader, and it stars Greg Kinnear and Willem
Hell
Dafoe
yes. Hell yes.
in a 100% true story of the life and times of Hogan's Heroes star Bob Crane and his descent
yes.
into sex-addicted madness and like swinging and like this is at the very dawn of like videotape technology and
Right.
shit, and he just became like obsessed with filming himself and like recording
Really?
and photographing himself having sex with
Holy
like hundreds of different
shit.
women in this weird like homoerotic codependent relationship with this guy who
Yep.
is his best friend who eventually
Really?
killed
Now,
him.
Holy
spoiler
fuck.
alert.
You
Yeah.
say that shit, and it's like I kind of want that for myself.
Really?
Yeah.
a homosexual codependent
a
relationship.
weird borderline homosexual relationship with an additional heterosexual
Component,
deviancy element to it. Yeah, where it's all just convoluted and the emotions are questionable.
The best-
the morality is as well. That's what I want for myself. I also kind of like the idea of the other person murdering me.
The best scene in the movie though is that they're like reliving their exploits or whatever, and they're like watching it like on his TV through like some ancient video camera, and they're just like fucking a bunch of women, and they're just like bodies everywhere, and then this is sort of early on in the relationship of them doing this shit. And Greg Kinnear, the Bob Crane character, is like, wait, what's that? Wait, Paul, stop, set the tape for a second. And he just, whose finger is that in my ass? And then the Willem Dafoe character goes, that was me. And he goes, what the fuck, man? And he just goes, Bob, it was a group grope. Come on.
A fucking group grope.
Yeah, that's the Will Menaker movie recommendation for this
That's
episode.
so
is,
good.
Autofocus, directed by Paul Schrader.
Did
Well,
they ever fuck him? The gay was that as gay as it
No,
got?
but like they would just
Willem
like,
Dafoe wanted to fuck him though.
yeah, definitely, and they would just like jack off watching each other fuck other people like on
Nice.
video and stuff. So
Interesting.
again,
yeah,
it's all a gray area. It's all
Good. Yeah. It's better if it's subtext.
Yeah.
Have you seen John Wick 2 yet?
I have.
Is it good?
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see it, dude.
It was a very satisfying sequel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Do you feel like because you have the dog, you appreciate it more?
Dude, before I watched I rewatched the first John Wick like the other week, and I hadn't seen it since getting a dog, and I gotta say that shit was even more
Me too.
fucking lit, man.
I'm in the same
It makes
boat.
it so much more satisfying because like. I mean, the plot of the first John Wick is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like
Beautiful.
it's like some asshole kills his dog.
Well,
and
my wife
and in
died.
return, he literally kills 100 people.
My wife died right before that movie came out.
Whoa, so you
Remember that?
really
You guys
appreciate
remember
it
my
most.
wife?
I do
Remember
remember
that
Yeah.
dumb bitch I married for like 3 weeks?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
She
funny.
died.
He's so much more upset about the dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to live next to, growing up, I lived next door to a Vietnam vet who had this fucking van, this shitty, like, late 70s Dodge van. And on the back, it just had a sticker that said, wife and dog missing, reward for dog.
Nice.
And I remember having to have my like
Jesus
father
Christ.
explain that joke to me because as like a fucking spectrum-ass 8-year-old, I'm like, but I don't understand why there would be a reward for the dog and not the wife. My dad's saying because, you know, he values the dog more than his wife. I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense. He's like, well, that's the joke, son. He said women are trash. I'm like,
Or like
oh.
the biker patch that is like, if you can read this, the bitch fell off.
Yeah. Oh, that guy was a biker too.
Of course he was.
Yeah,
dude.
I remember him like being one time because my memory of him from my childhood is just a pair of aviators surrounded by gray hair. Just his big, huge beard, and he used to keep jars of piss in the garage, and he had a fucking
Hell yeah.
stingray that was always underneath like a car cover.
When were you in his garage?
Well, they had a kid, so I mean, like,
okay.
you know, who I wasn't really friends with, but
you would
know,
have
I
every
went
once
over
in a
there,
while.
a couple times. But yeah, I remember him one day being like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you ride on my motorcycle," and I went home and like asked my dad, I'm like, "Can I go ride on their motorcycle?" My dad's like, "No,
Yeah, of course not.
no,
Pretty
you know,
crazy.
like, he's a man, like,
Yeah. Yeah, just take you somewhere I don't know where.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
get alone with this weirdo.
yeah,
So you could suck your dick on a little motorcycle.
yeah."
You know, it's people videotape
That guy
themselves
used
as
to
weird.
beat his wife. We used to hear them like fighting
Oh,
because
nice,
their like
dude.
back porch faced the front of our house.
Hell
You could
yeah.
hear him just like 9 o'clock in the morning, fucking beer cans hitting the recycling bin.
And that is
And
where you do a
screaming
lot of
about it.
wife hitting is the back porch.
Yeah.
The back porch is the
Well, that's why
venue
you
for
build a deck, dude.
it. Yeah.
And you build a deck instead of a family.
It's always weird to me when people like, okay, they videotape themselves fucking, but why are there so many people that videotape women going to the bathroom?
That was a Chuck Berry's big
Yeah.
thing.
That
He had a whole
shit's
chain
so
of
weird.
restaurants that were literally just a front to him videotape women.
Chuck Berry,
going
the
to
guitar
toilet.
guy?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
rock and roll
Yeah, he's the most
godfather.
famous
Yeah.
guy. But a
Yeah.
lot of people do that shit, dude.
There's this, there should be a scene where it's fucking Marty McFly videotaping a woman.
You're not gonna believe this. By the way, that scene in Back to the Future, very racist because it once again implies that white
yeah.
people invented rock
White
and roll.
people
Yeah,
invented
yeah,
rock
yeah.
and roll.
Well,
Which
that's why
they
he went
did.
back to the future.
Yeah.
I mean, he went back in time to
Yeah.
steal rock and roll for whites.
Yeah. No, I love that scene specifically for that reason because it's such a fuck you.
yeah.
It's so fucking mean.
Some suburban nerd.
Yeah, Chuck Berry got done for that, man. Like he had a whole chain of restaurants that were just literally just so he could have a hidden camera in the women's
That's
bathroom.
incredible.
Man.
I don't
and he
know-
had like a whole fucking like library.
All the permits you had to get.
Yeah, like
that
a
guy
whole
loved watching
library
women
of, like,
shit.
videotapes, man. It's
You know how much work that is to watch women
bizarre.
shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is only sort of related. And I've
love seeing a
never
woman take a
fact checked
dump,
this,
dude.
but there was a Johnny Rockets in D.C. and my friend Brendan was telling me about that. They got in trouble because the manager there, a black woman, like came in and applied for a job at Johnny Rockets, and like the dipshit fast food manager was like, "Well, it wouldn't really fit the theme if like a black lady was working here
Of the 1950s?
yeah, Johnny.
Oh,
Rock-
right, like Johnny Rock, they're like
Yeah,
sort of
it's like
throwback
a 50s,
diner,
yeah, yeah.
rockabilly kind of thing.
yeah. And so,
Oh my god.
huge lawsuit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredibly illegal.
And then like 3 years later, the guy did it again, or a different guy at the restaurant did the same thing. They
Hell
got like
yeah.
hit with like another discrimination lawsuit.
So awesome.
Because they're like, we're not allowed to say we can't hire you, but like we can hire you.
I'm imagining that same conversation happening at Colonial Williamsburg.
Well, there is one job. The pay's not great.
No, there is a position.
You know that Eric Andre bit about Colonial Colonial Williamsburg.
So fucking funny.
Yeah,
No,
so
it is.
good.
Colonial Williamsburg. It's really fucking boring.
Oh no, he also he did the Civil War. He would go through Civil War reenactments
As a slave.
as
Yeah. As an escaped
escaped
slave.
slave. That was a great bit.
I told you guys, right? Have I mentioned on the pod when I went to Gettysburg for the 150th?
Yeah, I remember
Gettysburg?
you told me you went to Gettysburg, and my joke question follow up was like, "Did you go on ecstasy?" And then you were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I
You
went
remember
on.
that?
Yeah,
And then
You took E and went to like the most
Oh, yeah.
hallowed battleground in American
yeah.
history.
I went with
That must
my
have been-
ex-girlfriend
Oh, yeah, you've told
and
us,
her husband now.
now husband.
Now husband.
Did you see that
By the way-
animatronic, like fucking, like General Lee thing that they have? They have like this weird, like room. It's like a theater with this like animatronic play that happens.
Oh no,
It's like
yeah.
the Disney's Hall of Presidents or whatever.
Yeah.
By the way,
So-
we're recording this on President's Day. Shout out to all the presidents.
What I love about
Oh, yeah,
Gettysburg
yeah.
is that like it
Current
was
one.
a decisive victory for the Union, but if you go to modern day Gettysburg, it's like, oh yeah, the South definitely won. There's nothing but fucking rednecks that love
yeah.
the trucks and the Confederate flag. And
and fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I
they
feel
love
about-
fireworks.
That's how I feel about the Vietnam War. It's like, yeah, we lost, but who's cleaning whose fat lady's feet now? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the Vietnamese.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, but I was on drugs there. We were walking around, and there was like, it's obviously you see the fucking Confederates, and it's like, if you're gonna bring your fucking whole family, dress them all up in Confederate uniforms, including like your 5-year-old kids, like, you just hate black people.
Yeah.
You just hate.
There's
like,
no way you're very open-minded.
Yeah. It's like
Shit
it's
like that.
fucking. It's
Literally,
accurate, dude.
The only reason.
Meanwhile, Adam is like, this Confederate flag feels so good.
I was walking
What's
around.
the thread count on this
It was
flag?
so fucking hot outside. It was the 150th anniversary. It was 4th of July because the Gettysburg battle happened on
Yeah.
over 4 days. But it was over 4th of July.
At the gift shops in Gettysburg, they sell like like the little Union soldier hats and the Confederate soldier hats, and then they sell the old like fucking Civil War era Stars and Stripes, which is the fucking the
Circle.
and shit, and then they also sell Confederate flags, which are not historically accurate. Like that was
Stars and Bars.
Yeah, there was the battle flag of Northern Virginia, which looked like the Stars and Bars, except it was a square. 'Cause it was a battle flag.
Yeah.
But the Confederacy had like a bunch of different flags, but that one was that's culturally they've decided this is the flag of the South.
Interesting.
Leonard Skinner did that.
Yeah. Well, they have that everywhere, but I thought it would be
so
so funny to like just go to one of those gift shops and when someone's not looking, just put a stack of big like Nazi swastika Third Reich flags
Just see how
in
many.
there for sale and put some price tags on them and see how long it would take before someone's like, I don't think these are supposed to be in the store.
I guarantee you they'd move a few of those.
Oh, of course they would. Yeah, that was a part of the Civil War. My favorite flag I've ever seen is the one that I saw. I can't remember where I saw it, but it's a Confederate flag. The Leonard Skinner fucking Dukes of Hazzard flag. But then there's a swastika in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It's like, hell yeah, dude, crank it to 11.
Hell yeah.
My favorite shit is the on Eastbound and Down where he has the Confederate flag.
boogie board.
Weed boogie board.
Hell yeah, Myrtle Beach.
Like,
dude.
I want that. I want that so bad. That's so funny. I'm like, all right, fine. Confederate flags are fine. If they all have weed in them,
I want Confederate flag. I want Calvin pissing. I want Tasmanian devil. I want weed flag. What's really funny is I googled this one time because I was like, this would be hilarious, but I was like, what if there's like a gay Confederate flag, like the rainbow, with the stars and bars, and then if you Google it, it's someone made it already.
Yeah, of course.
Someone did that bit already. Anyway,
bit.
but when we were on ecstasy, it was so hot, we were like sweating. We're like, this was a terrible idea. And they're like, let's go over to those woods, like on the far side of the battlefield for some like tree cover so we could like rest up. So we go there and that's where like all the Union cavalry was with all their horses. And they were like, just like getting the horses some shade because it was so oppressively hot. And in the middle of it, there's like a black family and they were all just like clearly not sanctioned by the reenactors. They were just wearing bonnets and stuff. And they like just like made a campfire. They were like barbecuing and stuff. And we were talking to this guy who's like one of the cavalry guys. He's like, they're not supposed to be here. And I was like, well, technically you should think about what, the poetic, aspect of you complaining about, them.
I just like the idea of like it's blazing hot out. You're tripping balls, and you're like, "This is a bad idea. Let's go get some shade." And then you end up on like Little Big Top, where like 5,000 people died. You know, it's excellent energy.
Why were you doing that?
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to
that's
say.
stupid,
Gettysburg is such a boring tourist destination because it is just fields. It's fields.
It's just a big open field.
It's just a big bunch of open fucking fields and then a couple of shitty gift shops. And it's like the only reason to go is if you think ghosts are real, which they're not.
Well, to see the reenactment, it's pretty insane.
I've never seen a reenactment.
Yeah.
See,
Is it actually cool?
There were like tens of thousands of people there. There was like people from Spain.
Gay, dude.
There were
Are you
people from
kidding me?
Spain there in like Confederate outfits, and they were like, "Yeah, we're here for the
because
Confederacy."
we always need to find new uses for our swords. Because Spain does not have enough uses for their swords anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, "You're from Spain, and you came here to be in the Confederacy." He's like, "Yes, there were the Spanish people who fought for the Confederacy, so we like came from."
Spaniards are fucking racist, dude.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. In the Real Madrid games, they would fucking throw.
Oh yeah, bananas.
They would throw bananas at Eto'o. Remember, like they would just fucking.
There was
and it's still going on.
a Spaniard in my like 8th grade class, and he was like, he sat next to me. I remember talking to him one time. I was like, "Do you like miss Spain, or like how are you adjusting?" Because you'd only been in the country for like a year or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, Spain's a lot better than America." And I was like, "Well, in what ways?" He's like, "Well, it's not contaminated like America is." I'm like, "What do you mean, like the water?" Or
Yeah.
He's talking about
the racial
He was
purity.
like, "Well, I mean, like everyone in Spain is like Spanish. They're the right race." And I was like, "You're 12 years old."
Dude. Europe
Dude,
is so
Spain
racist.
used to be so good, dude. They owned so much shit, and now they suck.
Yeah. They
What
had
was it?
The
They-
Spanish
Yeah,
Armada.
they did used to be good when Franco was in charge.
Yeah.
So good. How did they fuck that up? Back
Was
when
it-
like
No, but they had a run right before Britain, and everyone had a run, right?
They had a
huge
run.
run.
Yeah.
like
They had all
the
of South
conquistadors
America.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like fucking
They were getting
conquered
their-
the New World. They were really good
we
at
were laughing on
sailing.
the other podcast about Ponce de Leon and how he was Puerto Rican, and just imagining Ponce de Leon as like a modern day Puerto Rican.
I think it might sound a little.
Yeah, something like
They should get Al Pacino to play Ponce de Leon to do his Spanish
well, his carriage
accent.
just has like his name written in fucking old English. We're going to have berets every single day.
A fucking little Guadalupe on the dashboard.
Yeah. They love parades. Those folks.
I'm talking about European racist. It's so weird. Have I talked about how the stereotype of black people in Greece is that they all like to fuck men in the ass? That for some reason that's the fucking.
I thought that was the stereotype about Greek people.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we flipped it. I don't know.
Maybe
why.
it's because like that's just how racism works, and like everybody shits on Greek people, and they're like, yeah, they just fuck each other in the ass. And then if you're in Greek, you just need to like think that about black people.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
think
yeah.
they're even lower than you.
Yeah, it's so-
black people.
Yeah.
And they all sell bootleg CDs, which is actually true. That there's a lot of Africans that sell bootleg CDs in Greece. Or at least that was a booming business when I was like 11 and I was still over there.
Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, and 50 Cent.
It's weird.
I don't know if you guys, speaking of European racism,
Yeah, let's get into it.
did you guys see the shit this morning from the Prison Planet guy?
the Sweden?
About Sweden? This whole thing about how, like Donald Trump said,
It was
this
an
thing.
extension of the Fox report that
Yes,
Trump was.
yes.
Okay.
And what he was doing is he was like, I will pay any leftist journalist who's like making fun of Sweden to like go live in Malmo, like the most dangerous city in Europe, and like be hosted by these people. And he just like took some screenshots. So clearly he just did a Google image search for like thugs, Sweden.
Yeah.
And like one of the pictures is literally just like some teens on a corner, like looking like just they would ask you for a cigarette. It was like the least threatening thing imaginable. Like just like some kids in like scrawny kids in like track pants, just sullen on a street corner.
I didn't see that.
I love that. Racists are such pussies.
Have you seen any of
That's the basis
The
of
guy from that
racism.
Fox News article, though, the one that Trump like was basically citing, or
It's
saying-
Tucker Carlson, I thought.
well, no, it was because it was on Tucker Carlson's show, but the report was from Ami Horowitz, who has these videos where he like he'll be like, I'm here in Times Square talking to fucking white liberals or whatever, and he finds like one girl that's like, yeah, I think voter ID laws are racist because it affects black people's ability to vote or whatever. He's like, let's see how black people feel about that. And he's like, well, I'm here now in Harlem, and he's like, oh, you're a black person. Do you think it's racist that you should be allowed to vote? And be like, no. And they'll be like, well, liberals think it is.
By the way, here are the teens.
Oh, wow.
That shit is so funny, dude.
I don't know. They do look kind of threatening. This one guy's got Liberty spikes. There's graffiti there.
Those aren't Muslims.
Hold on, dude. This is like 3 different types of teens. How are these guys hanging out? This could look more staged. It's a guy with a...
It's
with
a Breakfast Club
It's
type
a fucking
situation.
Hot Topic guy, a Dundalk Yo Boy.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then a fucking crust punk.
Oh,
There's no. This is the kind of cultural mixing that I can't support. Is why the crust punk would be hanging out with the fucking tough guy from Degrassi.
Yeah, different kinds of cliques.
Yeah,
Wait, are these guys even Muslim?
yeah. I mean,
Well, one of the pictures he used is like a guy pulling up his shirt and had like tattoos on his stomach, but you can literally see him wearing a rosary.
Oh, fuck. Speaking of, you guys said
Well, how do you know they weren't
Carlson.
anal beads?
That's true.
Because they were on his neck
Yeah, they
and
could
not coming
be
out of his ass.
They could be the massive influx of homosexuals.
That's where I like to store them. I like the smell around my neck.
I will pay you $1 million to hang out with this punker from Syria. Wait, this is crazy. Look at this shit.
Will
man.
that guy actually pay for anyone, dude?
No,
Let's
of course
go.
not.
Oh yeah,
His
that
avatar is hilarious.
is a weird mix.
on Twitter.
Anyway, what's up with Tucker Carlson? He just wears bow ties and that's his thing.
Didn't he stop wearing the bow ties?
Yeah, I think he switched that up. I think
The
it
bow
used to be his
ties.
thing.
That was his branding 10 years ago.
That's how he broke into the business.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna be the bow
because
tie
he was
guy.
like a younger conservative, which
Right.
like to find a guy under the age 25 that's willing to be like, actually black people are stupid. It's a rarity.
right.
And then he wore bow ties, and that's how he got.
And then
bow
guys-
ties are trustworthy. He took it from Bill Nye, I think.
Did that guy Horowitz, was he the guy that did the Chinatown video
For
for
No, that was
No,
that,
O'Reilly?
Jesse Waters. Who's
Yeah.
like that's like Bill O'Reilly's
That guy is
sidekick.
such a piece of shit.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of like Ami Horowitz. All my suggested YouTube videos are like,
a sewer, I'm sure.
it's all Sam Hyde videos, and then like Trey Gowdy destroys rape victims.
Jesus Christ, that's so good.
The Trey Gowdy videos are the fucking best. Those are my favorite.
He's the guy that ran away
he
from
looks
the
so
town hall.
uncanny.
He looks weird, dude. He looks like but we talked about it. Him and Kasich have this weird thing where they have like the like facial. They look like a boy. They look like Billy Quiz Boy.
Right.
Not like him, but whatever the Billy Quiz Boy's problem is. Where they just have some like, sort of like aging deficiency.
Yeah, yeah,
where they
yeah.
look like a 4-year-old just sped up time. And suddenly they're
progeria.
yeah, 65 years old. But yeah, the Trey guy, it's always like he'll have like some immigration activists that are like, these people just need to have a job and a place to live. And he's like, okay, what about Sandra Williamson? She's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, she was raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant. And we actually have her rape kit here, and we're going to pass it around. I want everybody to smell this rape kit. It's about her dreams.
Look at
It's
this
about her
picture.
dreams and aspirations.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, well, for how old he is, he doesn't look bad.
How old is he?
I mean, he's probably like 55.
Look at this haircut.
Yeah.
This is awful.
That's the problem, is he doesn't know how to get haircuts, and Kasich is the same thing, where Kasich has like a 8-year-old boy's haircut.
I think he looks cute. What's Kasich up to? Is he still governor now?
I don't know. He's fucking quietly asking everyone to be reasonable. And,
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I was going to bring this up back when we were still talking about people videotaping them having sex.
Yes, please.
It's just still in my head. But, if you're like me, you've been, I've been checking out a lot of sort of like amateur like swinger porn recently.
Okay.
I've been on that tip.
Amateur what?
Like swinger porn.
Swinger,
of like,
okay.
Of like, like regular husbands and wives who
Yeah,
just like
yeah, yeah.
have orgies or
Sure.
like, whore their wife out or something like that.
Yes.
I just got to say, if you do that, that's cool. I enjoy it, but turn the TV off. I can't tell you how many of these videos I've watched where it's like some guy's wife getting spit roasted, but in the background you can literally hear like the 11 o'clock local news going on. And clean your living room too, people.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm just putting that out as a PSA.
Little clutter.
On Cum Town
I feel
right
like the
now.
I think
lighting's bad
the
on a lot of
message
those
is going to
too.
get out.
Yeah.
Swinging seems like a bad idea to me.
Oh, terrible.
Just don't be in a relationship.
Well, wait, you guys were the ones who were saying, you said on the podcast once that you wouldn't mind if people fucked your
I
girlfriend.
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
There's a
give a
difference
shit, but that's
between
different
that
than-
and swinging.
Yeah, right. Inviting a bunch of strangers over to your
A
apartment.
bunch of horny strangers
so
to come
you
over.
and, you
Out
and
of
your
shape.
fucking low T friends
Yeah.
can get together because you're somehow not cool enough to join a bowling league. So you have to
So you
fuck
have to
each
use
other's
your wife's
wives. Yeah.
pussy as bait for friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kurt
don't
does
know.
that. Kurt and Karen, they would like they're swingers.
I don't know, man. Billy, you think you ever get in there, dude?
Swinging?
You think the porn is
I think maybe it's a gateway drug.
Is a gateway
yeah.
to you swapping?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice,
Are you
man.
into the idea of wife swapping, or is it just?
Well, no, I'd have to get married first. Like, for me now, it doesn't appeal to me at all. But
Yeah,
I
right.
need to see a ring in porn. You know what I'm saying? Or else I can't.
wanna
There's that added frisson. I don't know. There's something about it.
There's
I need
like
to see a wedding ring.
I love
There's a
that.
genre that's like Romanian orgies or whatever, and it's just a room with people all fucking each other on a pull-out couch, like a big, large sectional.
Oh no, that's
It's so gross.
Right,
It's
yeah.
so gross.
It's like,
No,
I feel
that's-
like I'm looking at a magic eye. This is like a puzzle. with people fucking. I don't know who to beat off.
Don't
to.
focus your if you don't
Yeah,
focus
right.
your
It's
eyes.
not
you see a really
Romanian.
You
hot
see a
woman.
sailboat.
Yeah.
It's a cool skull.
It's Czech, dude. It's not Romanian. They love orgies.
Czech has some great porn, dude.
Yeah, the
Czech casting.
The Czech love. Yeah, they
You
love
mother-
casting
you see
couch.
those?
They love orgies.
Checks
they love
cashed.
gangbang.
Is that would be like
Yeah,
a
they
cool,
love to cash.
where
They
you
love
pay-
to.
they
Their
pay-
mouths love to write checks and then cash them.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love those casting videos because it's just such terrible acting. Where it's like, oh no, we have to have sex now. And it's like,
You know, I always thought would be like a fun sketch is like you have a birthday party for a guy that's in the closet, but it's like a big fat guy, you know, like a flamboyant big fat, like you,
like a cool,
a big
guy that
fat
everyone
flamboyant
respects.
guy, and it's his birthday.
Everyone thinks
but
is
like
cool,
you know, he's
and
very,
they
he's
wanna
clearly
fuck him.
very gay, but like,
But he's like,
you know,
cool, but he's
closeted
not
or
gay, he's
whatever.
actually straight.
And they bring out a big cake for his
He's not
birthday, and he's like,
closeted at all.
"Oh my god!" And then the stripper comes out of the cake, and he's like, "Oh, I thought I was going to eat the biggest cake in the world."
That's funny as shit, dude.
Yeah,
you should
dude.
do that.
How fucking disappointed would you be if you just thought you were gonna get that giant cake
And you are gay, yeah.
and there's a woman inside of it ruining the cake?
Just like Seagal in Under Siege.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wanted to eat that whole cake too, but now he has to babysit some fucking woman the whole rest of the
Doesn't
movie.
she pop out and like pull her tits out?
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
a
like-
good long scene of
Yeah.
tits and Under
And it takes her
Siege.
like
Oh, hell
fucking
yeah.
5 minutes before she realizes the room's empty.
Yeah.
She's hearing all these gunshots and like, oh, I guess that's very similar to that we mentioned it on the last one. Is in Bloodsport, the scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme has fucked a reporter lady and she's waking up the next morning and she wakes up to Jean-Claude Van Damme getting dressed. But the way they directed the scene is like it's her like waking up and she's like, oh, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's over there, so the shot cuts to Van Damme. And the way they directed it was, you know, she's supposed to be waking up and seeing him while he's getting dressed, but they just shoot Jean-Claude Van Damme. So his cue, he stands there on his mark with his pants, his underwear underneath his ass, looking over his shoulder, and then the director goes, and action, and then he finishes playing. But the edit point is like a microsecond off. So it just gives you the impression that he's been standing there pointing his bare ass at this woman while she's asleep until she wakes up. And
Do
then
you
he pulls
think
his
If you
pants
got
up.
it, flaunt it. You know?
It would be so cool if Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he asked his wife to marry her, he like did a full split and then opened the ring box.
Or the ring was on his dick.
Oh, that'd be
You know, he
cool.
does a
Yeah,
full split.
When there was the
I fucking love Bloodsport though.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
it's a
When there was-
hilarious movie.
when the terrorist attack happened in Belgium after the Paris attacks,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I made an image that's Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits in between the Twin Towers and the Eiffel Tower. and he's shitting onto a Quran in the toilet.
Satire.
To bring everybody
Nice.
together. Yeah.
Did anyone
good, man.
did anyone call them the terrorist attacks? No, sorry. Apologize.
You know who's the real terrorist? Paris Hilton.
Uh-oh.
Folks. That whore.
One Night in Paris. We've definitely talked about that porno, right?
It's not very good.
It's
That
not
reality
bad,
show.
I give it 2 thumbs down.
That reality
actually.
show
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great. Yeah, we have like
With
dumb
Nicole
rich
Richie?
people go and humiliate people from rural America.
Yeah.
We don't even know who we're mocking anymore. Was that The Simple Life?
The Simple
Yeah, the
Life.
Simple
Yeah,
Life,
yeah.
right.
With
Yeah, they had to get-
Lionel's daughter.
Yeah.
They had to just get jobs at like a fast food place.
Yeah, yeah. And then they'd like fuck dudes like at local bars.
Yeah.
Stop, come on.
What, dude? I didn't do anything.
All right.
Did they fuck on that show?
Of course.
Yeah, they used to like make out with like just like local guys with like their lips full of dip and stuff. And just be like so confused. They're like, yeah, these ladies came from New York. Now I'm making out with them.
You know,
Cool.
it
Pretty
feels
cool.
like her whole body's made out of elbows, but she smell real nice.
Yeah, smell good.
She smell good to me.
She smell good, but yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
They do fist fuck a cow on that show.
Oh yeah, they have to inseminate
Yeah, because
a cow.
they're like, oh well, we're farmers, but like I don't know how much of American agriculture is still actual farms and not like a Monsanto futuristic prison for chickens.
right,
Where you commit a chicken thought crime. So like they're like, it's just a simple life here out on the farm, and they're in some big fucking warehouse, like sticking their entire arm into a cow's pussy at one
there
point.
was a huge run of like horse and cow, like jerking off horses and putting your whole fist in a cow's pussy.
Yeah,
humor.
Jackass.
That happened in like
Yeah.
the early aughts. I feel like.
Wait,
Yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
I think
Freddie
like,
got
no, I don't.
fingered.
Freddie got fingered.
You like to like collect a bull's semen, you have to stimulate their prostate, so you have to stick your whole arm in their asshole.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
And then collect it. But I think with a cow, with a lady cow, I think you have to do something similar, but like you put like a pipette into the vagina, and then
Nice.
you also stick your arm in their asshole.
Oh,
as well.
yeah, dude.
Just like
Lot
I
of
just
fucking
don't believe
ass
we
play.
don't
That's
have the
birds and bees
technology to
type
put a
stuff.
fake arm in the cow.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever is being accomplished with the human arm.
We've
there's
been
no
to the
way.
moon.
Or just let the cow. Why can't the cows just fuck? You know,
I don't
there's
think they
enough
want to.
room and technology to allow.
I don't
the
think
cows
they've
to just
ever
fuck
figured
each
out
other.
how to fuck, dude. I think it's been
They're not
for
tame the
2,000
bears.
years.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't even know where cows are indigenous from. I don't know where we
I know.
got
They're
them.
buffalo.
I think
right?
they do this with horses particularly, because like a stallion can actually kill a mare.
Oh,
if
really?
You're not careful.
With that good
yeah.
dick?
And yeah, exactly.
Dick so good you
dick's too
die.
good, you're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
But like when you're
Wow.
invested like hundreds of thousands of dollars in like a horse or whatever, you
Yeah.
can't take chances like that.
Sure. Interesting.
But the cows, it's whatever.
Yeah, cow. Like we kill them every fucking
Yeah.
day.
You could
Like,
also. It's also automation. You know,
It's probably
if you just
quicker.
let the animals fuck, you could fire all the people whose job it is to fist and fluff the animals.
Yeah, I'm a fluffer. I suck the bull off before he fucks the cow.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to use his mouth, but he chooses to. And I say, hey,
Those are the jobs.
if you
Trump's
find a
bringing,
way
baby.
to make the job fun, I say go for it. Me, I bring a little Bluetooth speaker with me. I listen to the Allman Brothers while I jerk the cow off. Some guys just like to suck the cow's dick. That's what a simple life is.
Yeah, we have fun around here.
no, those are the jobs that are coming back to America.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
We got to
Sucking
stop
off
letting these
bulls.
Malaysian fucks suck all the cow dicks. Some Malay son of a bitch is fucking elbow deep in cow pussy right now.
Get the hell out.
Oh, fuck.
I like Monsanto on Facebook,
Oh, nice.
and Monsanto's been getting into it to the same degree that Raytheon has the woke postings.
Yeah.
That's
Like
hilarious.
That's great.
Raytheon does it all the time. We're like, we're teaching girls science.
I love it.
And it's fucking like, I
giving-
always share them.
We're giving we're giving girls in Yemen up close
Yeah.
lessons in physics.
We're helping
and
them
combustion.
get, yeah, right. We're helping them get tans to become more beautiful, even though they don't have to.
Well, I remember like natural gas companies, like they've been trying to have like a sort of open a PR front because everybody thinks fracking is bad, and they
Yeah.
so they're doing like memes now where it's just like that feel when someone tells you like natural gas is bad, and it's just like some girl rolling her eyes or something. That feel when someone says fracking causes their water to catch fire.
I think it's cool though to
The
have water.
Raytheon ones are good.
that
The
goes on
Monsanto
fire.
ones are good. And what I love is too is because Raytheon still shares all their other shit. So it'll be like a video of like a classroom and they're teaching girls science, encouraging girls to get into STEM or whatever, and then fucking morons are like Becky Starfish, or whatever their dumb Facebook name is, like, I love this is so great or whatever, and then the next video is like, the fucking Mark II V18 ICBM targeted laser guided system, and then the comments in those are always like, a dude that's just a fucking hat and a mustache. Take a picture right up. If you're a fucking moron who's just hates everything about Obama in the last 8 years, your Facebook for the profile picture is just your mustache and your fucking rosacea, your swollen alcoholic rosacea nose, and your stupid hat, and they comment on all those Raytheon ICBM. I saw one guy one time that's like, America is the you do not fuck. Having a fucking seizure while commenting on how great the missile systems are. Fuck, man. Yeah.
Oh god.
No, those are great. I fucking love all that. The cause marketing from literally the most evil companies in the world, which I was doing as a joke, not to hey, guess listen up to this thing I photoshopped 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I did that with all when Tostino's made that, they did a tweet which they stole, by the way, from someone on Etsy. Tostino, the pizza roll company.
Yeah.
They had a tweet where they took the word gender roles and crossed it off, and it says pizza rolls.
Oh, nice.
And all these people were quote tweeting it like, well, I know what I'm having for dinner, and it's like, you stupid fuck.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And they stole that tweet from some pillow that some girl was selling on Etsy. They just stole her idea.
They probably compensated her really well.
Yeah,
for
I'm
it.
sure.
Oh
they
yeah,
fucking
definitely.
did.
Oh yeah, for sure. She's retired now.
No, so I did a bunch of them where it's McDonald's, and then we're heroes. We let retarded people work here, and put it in every different language, or Occidental Petroleum. A woman should be able to dig wherever she wants. Or Dole, unions crossed off, or same sex unions.
Civil unions.
Yeah, Coca-Cola in Bolivia unions. Yeah. No, thank you.
Same sex unions. It was two bananas. It was two bananas and rainbow color.
Along those lines, a similar genre is something I've been seeing popping up recently, where it's intended to be these heartwarming stories of perseverance and discipline among young people, where it's this is Michael. Michael has been collecting recycling every single day and working 2 jobs while going to school to put himself through college. Don't ever say you can't work hard enough. Always do more. And I'm just
Christ.
This is such a terrible indictment of our society.
Oh,
Why? He's literally collecting trash so he can get an education.
Right.
What the fuck?
He has
working 3 other jobs.
He has shittier economics than a hermit crab. He does what a hermit crab does, plus 2 more jobs.
Yeah, there is an
a bottom
Uber
feeding
thing.
crustacean has a better economic outlook than this human being.
It cost us more money to produce this video than he makes in 6 months.
Yeah.
But we're not doing anything to change that.
There was an Uber thing. It was Cheryl's 11 months pregnant and still driving her Uber. That's how much.
God.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ, man. That's horrible. Give her fucking health
The best
care.
part, she was raped in a lift. I know you
Makes
think
you
we're
think.
the rape
Yeah.
company. I
By the
love
way,
it.
what happened with Uber with that? There's some controversy
there
now
was a new
about
thing,
some
it came up in my newsfeed, and then my newsfeed refreshed, so I don't know what that story
They're
is.
in trouble again, though.
Yeah.
some HR shit. Some women get harassed all the time working for Uber or some shit like that.
In the corporate side?
Yeah, I think so.
Not just by their drivers.
Yeah, not just by their
in the
drivers.
office
Yeah.
too.
Yep, which is
Cool.
chill.
Yeah.
Very
Well, I can't wait till they
chill.
just cut people out completely.
Well, we were talking about the guys who were going to lose their jobs fisting cows, but
Yeah.
a real thing is that in the next, very soon, within the next
Automated
decade or
cars.
something, is automated, self-driving cars.
Dude.
30 million people are going to be out of work in the next
it's
decade or so. Yeah.
If the cab drivers, that'll be a problem, sure, and inner city courier services are one thing, and especially in Manhattan, I feel like it'll still always be faster to have a bike courier than somebody on a fucking car. So for local deliveries and stuff in the city, the real impact is going to be
Long haul truckers.
long haul truckers,
Yeah.
who are fucked, and that'll devastate the economies of so many fucking small towns.
Yeah, it's 20 to 30 million American men have that.
Well, is
job.
that
Something
when
like
the
that.
fucking universal basic income comes into the mix? Just
Well,
like,
probably
ideally
not. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be cool? If
Well,
fucking,
but here's
we don't have to work
why
and
the
shit?
trucker thing is really fucking important is because not only does it fuck over like the infrastructure, but it's 90% of all borderline racist New York podcast and radio show audiences are.
It's a huge problem.
I didn't
dude.
realize what
It's
an
a huge
actual
problem.
issue this
These guys
was.
are not sitting in the cab of their truck muttering slurs about everyone else on the road all day long. What do you think? They're going to listen to Kumia's show at the mall in the food court when they're out of work? No, of course not. Their ears
Sirius
are
is
swollen
fucked.
from fucking forehead edema. They can't fit earbuds in there. They need the speakers inside the cab.
They have cauliflower ear from hate crimes they've committed over the time. Over
Never
the
tell you
course of
about
their
that
lives.
guy, that homeless guy my friends were just hanging out with one night in Rockville that had I won the lottery and now I'm like illegally parked behind the old Jeepers in this semi that I bought. This guy bought a semi, he doesn't know how to drive it. He won the lottery. And he's just telling us about it. He's like, yeah, I just love buying electronics and shit. I was like, why are you hanging out with this guy? I just found him. I don't know.
They're buying weed. He was buying drugs.
I think
for them?
you got to go, right? We're almost out of time here.
Oh yeah,
I
can keep going. I can keep going.
Oh, okay, yeah,
If-
sure. Yeah, I didn't know if you were on a time crunch.
No,
or-
no.
Yeah, we're having fun.
It was a fun
Yeah,
one.
that guy was just had this truck that he bought. For
Yeah.
I'm assuming semis cost like $200,000.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
probably.
a question. I see. I'm worried about it because of the horrific economic impact of putting 10 to 20 million people out of work.
right.
But I'm also concerned because I feel like, what do you trust more when you're driving on a highway and you see like a giant fucking tractor trailer, like some guy that you just described who's like probably like sniffing crank because he's been up for 72 hours driving, or just like a fucking computer driving one of those things?
Yeah.
That freaks me out.
Well, the
Absolutely,
thing with
dude.
you can say that computers are safer than the drivers because of human error causes them to fuck up, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be fuck ups. And in the cases of human error,
Who do you sue?
There's more accountability.
right.
So if you have a man that fucks up and drives his semi into kills a family or whatever, he's an independent contractor. It was that man. There's a clear answer. This is who's responsible. And obviously, you're not going to get your family back through litigation or whatever. But that's just how justice works, and that's the options we have available to us.
Mm-hmm.
If it's some huge patchwork of like automated systems and bullshit, a fucking automated truck drives through a schoolyard and kills a bunch of kids, then it's like, well, who's it?
We're
Is
going
it
to bring
Apple
the
for-
algorithm to court.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
There's no accountability.
No, wouldn't the company be fucking
The company,
accountable?
but it's a corporation that's protected by, so they take a fucking ding from the lawsuit. But those companies are going to be fucking huge.
Right.
If you don't think it's going to be one or two companies that control all of the domestic,
Of course.
trucking routes with these automated systems. Because look at like mobile networks. There's 4 companies in America that control all the mobile networks.
Right.
And Verizon will continue to do shit that should just be, it is fucking illegal. They get fined for it, where they'll just decide to discontinue service in an area or something got fucked up and they won't fix it.
Right.
And they'll just, charge people more money. And eventually they get fined by the FTC, and those fines are immediately passed on to the consumer through a
Right,
section
right.
on your bill that says like additional surcharges, and then they never see any fucking
Yeah.
consequences for it. So you're gonna have if enough of like big companies are able to put out these trucking lines and just literally kill people and fucking write it off as an expense, because the entire it's a lot different than like the consumer automotive market where you don't there's a lot more competition. You don't necessarily need a car. If the
Right.
backbone of fucking, everything in America, all of our, internal shipping, if you bring those people to court, they're not going to fuck them over to the extent that they can't do business anymore.
Right, there's no way to boycott trucking companies, really.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they all just fucking...
Yeah, like as you said, Nick, considering like every piece of food you eat is delivered with a truck
Yeah. Right,
everywhere in America.
Yeah. You think the government, let's say one of the 3 companies that gets to control all of those shipping routes or those trucking routes accidentally, we killed, 10,000 people. They're not going to say, okay, well, shut it down. You're going to go out of business. No, they're going to assess some kind of fine that, or there'll be a class action lawsuit.
But that's the scary shit, is that like computers will probably be fine until they really fuck up. Like I could see like some fucking chip fucking up or some shit.
No, I
and
think
then
it'll
just,
be
like,
worse. It'll be worse
shit-
at the beginning, and then the fucking system will learn from the mistakes.
There's
I think
already,
that's how the
there's already,
computers work.
I was talking with somebody about Y2K the other day. They're like, yeah, remember how everyone thought that was going to be a big deal and it wasn't? It was like, it kind of was. There was shit that fucking happened in Y2K that, it wasn't as bad as people thought it would be. But in England, there was a computer program that like determined genetic typing for all these couples,
Oh, yeah,
and the
you were
computer
saying that.
program spit out like, oh yeah, your son's gonna have Down syndrome, you better abort. And there's all
Whoa!
these people that got abortions.
Holy shit!
There's all these women that fucking had their kids aborted, and they're like, we forgot to carry the one. I'm sorry.
Holy shit!
And why that was fucking Y2K did that
God
shit.
damn.
It's like, but the ATMs weren't spitting out money, so I guess it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was nothing happened. But yeah, automation is dangerous.
I don't trust that shit, dude. But maybe
Yeah.
maybe we're just old. Like, isn't this how people probably talked about cell phones and shit? And like, I mean, they are probably giving us cancer or something. But there's something. There is something scarier of cars. They're so fast. It's so fucking.
Yeah, but what added convenience do you get out of fucking like automated trucking systems?
We
Well,
don't. You're right.
the
They
argument
save
is
money.
that the goods
Cell
will be
phones
cheaper.
benefit everybody. It connects people, and yeah, sure. Similar arguments were made about any kind
Every
of thing.
technology,
When
yeah.
when like Pulp Fiction came out, people were saying, "Oh, this is going to everyone's going to be stupid because they're reading all the time
Right.
instead of I
The
don't know.
movie?
No,
No,
even
when
the
like
actual
like books,
genre.
yeah.
Isn't that what they said about literally writing and like philosopher? Like
That's what they said about the printing press.
Yeah.
When silent reading became a thing, because you used to have to read out loud, and people started reading in their head, and they're like, "Don't do that. That's what fucking trash people do."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, sure.
But certain things make you smart, and certain things make you dumb. Like TV definitely makes you dumb, right?
No.
Reading makes you smart.
I think if you're just a dumb person, it's easier to watch TV all the time.
Right.
Mhm.
If you don't have to think critically about
You don't
stuff.
challenge
But then now
yourself.
there's TV that's not completely fucking dumb anymore.
That's true. But it's easier to just check
But
out.
at the same time, it's any kind of like visual medium is inherently more passive because it's like it's just being sort of piped into your
Right,
head.
'cause
You're
you
not
don't control
really
the
like you're not
tempo.
exactly.
Right,
Like, whereas
right.
you're reading a novel, you're reading it, but you have to sort of create the world
Yeah,
in your
you're
own
doing
head. You have to
everything.
use your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
imagination more than just sort of like passively
But
receiving.
That's
it.
why-
It's not impossible though to passively consume literature, and plenty of people fucking do that.
yeah,
That's
I feel
why
like that's
I
how
only
read.
listen to radio plays. That's all the media.
Theater
I
of the
consume.
mind.
Theater of the
You know
mind,
what I
bro.
think? I think big corporations and technology are just basically filming themselves fucking the American people.
Yeah.
And then they're watching it back and having a great old time laughing about how dumb we all are.
Yeah. I don't know. The bigger argument, it's not that like, oh, well, automation is unsafe, is that it destroys jobs, and when it destroys jobs, it destroys people's lives, and it
Right.
fucking hurts the problem of income and wealth inequality even more.
Yeah.
Like, they have automated McDonald's now in New York, and you probably don't see them because they're not in fucking Union Square. They have them all up in Harlem.
Right.
They have them in the
right,
places where they want to fire people immediately.
Right.
And where the people need the jobs.
Right.
Well, that's also weird because, like, McDonald's in particular, really everywhere has like almost become like de facto social services for like
Yeah.
large segments of the population.
Yeah.
So like, what are they going to do when they're completely like untethered from any human contact?
Yeah.
They're gonna write the next great novel. They're gonna write the next great song. They're gonna make the next great dance.
Walmart too.
No, apparently Walmart started hiring more people. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, actually, we actually talked about this on my show, but there was an article that came out a while ago about what a huge drain Walmart is on local police departments.
Right, yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah.
country. They actually have to have like a cop
People stationed
who's
there.
paid with taxes, right?
In-
who has to stay in the
Yeah.
Walmart
Yeah.
to just keep processing all the people they arrest in Walmart because these stores are like just massive open spaces.
Right.
They don't hire enough people to actually do real security for
there's
business.
three
of that
people
side.
working in a
Yeah, there's
massive
three
warehouse.
people working there.
When I was in New Hampshire with Felix and Justin, I was in a Walmart and there was dog shit in the aisle, which was amazing. Someone let their dog shit inside.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The other thing is that they also let people, because they need their employees to do this, they let people stay in cars. You can like in the parking lot 24 hours a day,
Yeah, it became
overnight.
big RV parks.
Yeah.
As initially it was for all the
Uh-huh.
old people because they're like they thought it would be nice for old people like the fucking who aren't going to cause any trouble. And then
Yeah.
I thought they reversed that because of vagrants and shit.
Yeah, but like vagrancy, but it's just basically like, and then like so much in like modern American life, like everything is like just sort of, it's just like sort of these strip malls off highways, but there's no real like community or main street, and there's no eyeballs on the street. I mean, like, you know, urbanologists or whatever who study this, like there's a word like eyes on the street is a thing that they think cuts down on crime, because it's just like if people are out and about and it's sort of like a main street in or a high street in a town or city, it's different. But like now they're just these sort of people just sort of like completely like desiccated like areas of just commerce. So there's like nothing going on. I mean, you could probably get like raped or killed in Walmart. I'm sure it happens.
Dude, I was just in Oklahoma. That's exactly how that shit was. It was like there's nothing, no one. And the closest thing to like a main street or a downtown was Walmart. Like that shit was bustling. Like that's where people go to fucking hang and shit like that.
Well, in Texas, there was a Walmart that had a police like substation in the Walmart, so it was beyond just one officer. The Walmart had its own police station,
and it's also not just that. They also just pay their employees shit. I'm sure they're all on like a lot of them.
I'm sure they don't care. People
welfare.
Are stealing. Like
it's just like that's other ways the government fucking subsidizes Walmart's bitch ass.
What was Oklahoma like stuff? You're out there doing a date?
Yeah, I was doing a casino. It was
Cherokee Nation. Baby.
Cherokee Nation, great gig. Shouts out Lacey. But the actual place was fucking kind of depressing. I mean, it was especially casinos make me sad.
Yeah, they're super sad.
Like what he's neglecting. I did it last year. We went hiking in the Ozarks the morning after, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Yeah, well, you went with Ari. I went with fucking Bobby. Bobby's not going fucking. I would have loved a nice hike, but
let's all quietly laugh.
Fuck you, bitch. How much fucking activity does your bitch ass do on a day to day? When?
I was doing pull-ups when you came in here.
I'll do push-ups right now, dude.
Yeah, sure.
All right, dude. I'm about to finish.
You're fucking half nude. You're like lounging.
I'm doing push-ups.
You look like you're about to eat peeled grapes.
Straighten that back out.
Shut up, Will. Everyone, I just did 40 push-ups.
That was the grossest push-up I've ever seen.
You know what? Fuck off. The cord is short, so I couldn't do like a really good one. But
we need to get you back in pants, dude. Too much of these sweats.
This is great radio right now, everybody.
Yeah. Damn. I just did a clap push-up, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like John Claude Van Damme.
Those video broadcasting studios, so we can force you to do exercise and then also jack off a midget and reach the final level of New York broadcasting.
Yeah, we need to.
What's that? Do you got like a midget-sized pussy too? That's interesting. I'll just get sunglasses.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was tough, and it's like the food, like. It's hard to not eat like shit at a place like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In a casino.
Yeah. But even the people that like live there, it's like...
That's why San Antonio is the fattest city, because you go there and it's like... the way Starbucks is here, it's like that there with fucking Olive Garden.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible. It's
everywhere.
And like Red Lobster and all those like, you know, what's like... casual dine. What's that tier of chain restaurants called where it's like sit down casual,
fast casual?
No,
that's Chipotle.
Yeah, that's like Panera and shit. Where it's
I don't know,
Olive
but I know what you're
Garden,
talking about.
Red Lobster,
yeah.
macaroni,
Chili's, Applebee's.
And it's as far as the fucking eye can see. You drive around San Antonio and it's all these fucking elevated highways and chain restaurants.
Yeah,
and then people dressed like cowboys on hover rounds that are easily 500-600 pounds.
It's insane how fat they are down there.
They all want to be fat cowboys, which is like, first of all, no one would ever let you on a horse. That would be fucking animal cruelty.
You have to ride a buffalo.
Fat person riding a horse is one of the funniest images.
It is a great.
It is very funny.
No, they all look like those twins.
Yes, I was just gonna say one of my favorites of all time. The twins, the big fat twins on the little
scooters. What are they called? The Williams twins, the Wallace twins.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we ate at Red Lobster when we were in DC, and I got to say it was the best dining experience we had there all week.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, DC's
I
a
love
lot of good fake ass.
I love
bistros
those. Yeah, it's all this. Yeah, exactly. It's all those shitty bistros, which I hate. Yeah. But man, those fucking biscuits are so good.
Dude,
I did it up big. I got the Admiral's platter, which is just all fried.
Yeah.
It's just fried everything.
Yes.
And if you finish
it's just a
you're
selection.
actually commissioned as a 4-star.
Yeah, you're in the Navy now.
Yeah.
I did it, so I didn't get my lapels.
Do they get stars in the Navy or like little anchors?
It's stars. Yeah, there's star. Yeah,
they get stars still.
Yeah, all the top tier like officer ranks in the like
or
United
starred
States Armed Services, I think, are stars.
Yeah, it's the same in
Is that right?
kindergarten
so.
too.
Yeah.
If you get stars, you like for being good.
And as a video hoe, like a 5-star bitch.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the highest level of bitch you could be. Was that 5-star bitch that Gucci show?
I was saying to Nick and Stav yesterday, Will, and I'm glad you're on the podcast now, but as an alumnus of the Chapo Trap House, I am now technically a pundit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they should respect
Shut
me
the
as such.
fuck up, dude.
No, you should
I've
respect.
never disrespected
I just slapped
you
at him,
once on
everyone.
this
Did you hear
show.
that?
I'm MSM.
No, I was doing like
I'm mainstream media, dude. MSM pundit.
I was bored the other day, so I was doing that like Curious Cat thing, where just like anonymous questions from people who follow you on Twitter, and a lot of people were saying, we love the Adam episode, but just once again, like to remind you that Brendan Wardell was your worst guest ever. Never have him back on. I will burn down a hospital for every
You have to
appearance he
stop
makes
talking
on your
shit
show.
about him. He got his feelings hurt because now people don't like him, and he's blaming it entirely on us.
This
Yeah.
is whatever, man. Who cares?
I care.
I
don't be
like
mean
Brendan.
to-
I'm not trying to be mean to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
No,
It is
nobody
funny.
likes Brandon. We don't have to lie about it. No, I'm kidding. Brandon's great, guys. Please stop bullying him. Please stop hurting his feelings. We don't want to get blamed for it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
fuck.
just don't do it.
Yeah, it is funny, but internet hate is hilarious. How much hate did Adam get? Any nice hate for Adam?
Oh, this is funny actually.
Someone got mad that
someone
I
got
called-
mad at Adam because just some random person was just like, hey, like the show, but I gotta say, like, not too happy about, like, you know, on the most recent episode when you sexualized the teenage girl. And I was like, what? And it was when we were talking about
Popcorn's girlfriend.
We were talking about Instagram savage and legend Popcorn, and like I was making the point that like he's this sort of like goofy, like, he's like this sort of fat curly hair white kid who like thinks he's like a rapper, but like on his Instagram, like he is like hooking up with like hot women, and I didn't
Yeah.
Really?
for a high school kid.
For a high
Shouts
school
out
kid.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
love,
you.
I love the spectrum of like shows.
You
where
can't
have-
say that
where
they're
you
hot
have-
though. If
you have
they're-
Chapo on one end, and then I did Legion of Skanks the other night, where Lewis brought a homeless man onto the podcast, tried to steal his cocaine, and tried to put his false teeth in his mouth.
God.
And he's like, "Just give me the fucking teeth, dude."
Jesus,
Dude,
that is so
dude, that's-
fucking disgusting.
that's so bad.
Can you imagine?
That's
Like
insanely gross.
he's doing that just voluntarily for not even a great laugh, probably
Yeah,
just for like.
I mean, I'm still laughing about it. I think it's pretty funny.
Would he have literally put the
And then
teeth in
people
his
getting
mouth?
mad about saying that Popcorn's girlfriend is hot.
Yeah,
Like, like if we said, "Oh, dude, I want to fuck
wanna
Pop's
fuck-
girlfriend
yeah,
because
yeah.
she's 16," you know.
We didn't say we wanted, exactly. We didn't say we wanted to fuck her. We just said he did all right for a fat, chubby, curly head, Kentucky white
good
boy.
for him, man.
Yeah,
Shouts
whatever.
out to Popcorn.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna apologize.
No,
for
I didn't apologize. No,
sexualizing.
fuck that.
Yeah, Popcorn is white Latarian Milton.
Of course,
I
yeah.
love Lutarian. Lutarian's gotten his life together.
I know,
And
which is not
hopefully Pop
surprising.
will.
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
If you G out that hard as a fucking 8-year-old,
You got to get the hood shit out of your system early.
Yeah.
So you know-
where the fuck else is he going to go except Harvard?
Yeah,
That's why, like I said, I'm glad, sort of glad Pop did his home invasion and assault with a deadly weapon when he was 17.
Yeah.
He'd waited a little bit longer, shit would have been a lot
He would
more
have gone to
dire for
adult
him.
prison,
Yeah.
and they would have not liked his rapping.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking Latarian was so hard as an 8-year-old. Like Obama would have never, if it was Latarian, Obama would have never said, "If I had a son."
son,
It would have never happened with Latarian.
He'd look like
He'd be like,
Latarian.
I don't
He'd
know
look like
Latarian. I've
Latarian.
never met Latarian. I don't know who Latarian is. Please do not compare me to that boy. That boy beat up his grandmother for chicken wings.
God, he was awesome. What does he do? He stole
He stole a car.
Dude,
He stole her
Hood
car.
Rat
Stole
Joe
his
this
grandma's
Prince.
car, smashed into it because he couldn't see above the dashboard. Because his friend came over and his friend was smoking cigarettes,
and he
they
smokes
wanted to go
with
He
cigarettes.
smokes with the cigarettes, and they wanted
And
to go
he
to the
smoked
mall
with cigarettes.
because I want to do hood rat shit with my friend.
I want to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
Dude, that's the kind of
so cool.
That's what fucking unbridled childhood freedom looks like. In a perfect world, every boy would be able to do
Absolutely.
that.
Oh my God, yeah.
We need a holodeck for boys.
yeah.
So they
Bringing it
can
all
be
full
Latarian.
circle. Yeah.
And that'll be it. This is
Yeah.
the holodeck for boys.
Thanks,
All right.
Big Dick Billy.
Yeah, you got anything you want to
Thanks,
plug?
Billy.
Let's probably go up
Why
now.
Dick
no,
Billy?
just always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Any day without cum is a wasted one.
That's right. That's right, brother.
Yeah, Chapo Trap House. I'm sure there's a lot of overlap. Anyways, but if you don't listen, check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great. You guys are fun. Thanks. And check it out. It's great.